Hello, hello. I am just sitting here making all kinds of videos today. And this one, I had to get in here and do a quick video on this one. A friend recommended to me, I had told her I had just finished Shonda Rhimes's book, A Year of Yes, which I will do a video on that also, probably next. Um, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I just listened to this book, so good." And she said, "I just finished Viola Davis's book, Finding Me." Wow. Let me tell you, if there is ever a book that made me just think, and I keep going back to that book, I go back to over and over and over again. That one impacted me so deeply. It talks about her upbringing, and her upbringing was damn near a horror show. Oh my gosh, it could have been, if it was a movie, it'd be under just her upbringing would be a horror. It it scares me. Um, just thinking about it. It was so wow. My heart goes out to her and her family for what she endured growing up. It also talks about her and how she gets into acting. And I want to share something in here because this is what really um, I it there it is. Um, this statement, it's a little bit more than a statement. It was so impactful to me that I put it in my notes. I listened to it probably at least 5 times. I have shared this with so many people because to me, this is so very true about life. Um, okay. And it's got two different parts in here. I'm just going to keep reading all the way through because it's everything. I think I don't think it's read all the way through, but okay. I'm just going to start reading. And who was I without all my dreams? The bigger dream, the bigger the dream, the more the shame let me start again. Bear with me. This is why I don't read. I'm dyslexic and I like to throw words and switch them around. And yeah, so because I listen to books, but okay, let me try it again. Who was I without all my dreams? The bigger the dream, the more the shame of that little third grade Viola could disappear. The bigger the dream, the more people would not call me those names I was running from. The bigger the dream, I could be worthy. I felt almost desperate to explain this to God in exchange for forgiveness to be cleansed. I have a Jewish friend who is modern Orthodox. He said one of his rabbis said it is futile to ask why. Instead, ask yourself, what did I learn from this? What have I learned from all of it? There is absolutely no way whatsoever to get through this life without scars. No way. It's a freaking emotional boxing ring. And either you go 1 round, 4 rounds, or 40 rounds, depending on your opponent. And by God, if your opponent is you, you will go 40. If it's God, you barely got one because Big Daddy has rope-a-dope down. He is a shapeshifter. You think you're fighting him, screaming, punching, begging him for help, and he leaves you with you. That just every time that gets me. Um, I have some other stuff in here. I just thought that was so powerful. Um, it also talks in there, when it comes to manifesting a mate. She talks about how she manifested her husband. She she was talking to a guy and he goes, "Why are you not in a relationship?" And she just like, really didn't have a reason. She's like, "Okay." He said, "This is what I want you to do. I want you to pray to God and ask him for exactly what you want in a man." And so she gets down that night. She was already in bed and she's like, "Oh, I need to get down." She goes, "I haven't been praying to God in however long." She finally talks herself into getting on the ground and she prays to God. She goes, "I want an ex-athlete, maybe one that was a football player. I want she goes, I prefer to have a black man." It didn't matter but she goes, I think I'd like to be with a black man. She goes, I want him to be previously married and already have a child because I don't want to be responsible to have a child or that need for him to have that need, and I may or may not be able to provide that. And I think she also said something about she wanted somebody that had a creative side also. And fast forward, I can't remember I think it was a movie set she was on, or it may have been a TV show she was on, and there was this guy and he met her and they were talking and everything, and she was usually she's in New York, she was in LA, didn't know anybody and kind of was just kind of out of her element. And this guy's like, "Hey, let's, if can't have you hanging around by yourself, let's get together. I'll show you around." And she doesn't, she has his number, doesn't do anything for a couple weeks. And then I think she's having a conversation and somebody says, "Hey, why don't you have a conversation? Call him up. What could hurt? Find out what he's about." And she does, and they've been happily married ever since. So it's just another manifestation. I would just love this stuff. This is another book I really, 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 really want to listen to again. um but her upbringing really scares me too. I'm not even going to go into it because my heart breaks for her and the little Viola Davis. Mm, mm. Yes. So this one, this book has probably had one of the biggest impacts on my life. So let me know what you guys think if you've read the book, what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear your input. Uh, and what other books would you recommend besides Viola Davis's Finding Me? You guys have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon.